Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's time to head back to school. I wanted to make this video as a sort of kind of memoir slash out message to everyone who has already started school, since this is near the ending of August, or those who are going to start. For me and all my friends out there in Clint, we're going to start tomorrow. Actually, officially this time right now, around 4:01, 4:02, is usually the time when our classes normally end. And to just look back at everything that I've done in my school life, since this year, for those of you who have heard, is my last year of high school. So I'm a senior, I'm moving on to college, I'm moving on with Brianna, we have a lot of plans. So I figured I'd just talk about how I see school personally and how my life has been affected all the way back in the past. So the perfect way to start this is to look at the pre-K through first grade scenario. This scenario is the scariest part of school. Well, possibly second scariest. But the reason why I say that is because as we're little and we have so much time and relationships built with our parents and our siblings and all of our friends before, school decides to put us in an entirely different environment where there are people that we have to interact with, there are new adults that we have to learn how to trust that aren't your parents and aren't going to baby you or care for you normally like your parents would. And that just makes the whole school experience the first time ever to be scary. That's why you see all those, crying stories about how I cried when I went on my first day, they dropped me off, and all that cliche about kids crying for the first ever day of school. I was one of them. I actually cried a lot like a baby. Well, I don't want to say very embarrassing for me because I was little, but damn, that was a very, very embarrassing moment. But then after that first day of school, I came out like really happy and enchanted. I even had pictures of myself all like smiling and everything with a little paper plate mache thing that I had on there. So the pre-K to the first grade is the most interesting, but possibly second scariest part, because it's a whole new environment. Everything is brand new that you have to learn to adjust to. Now we're going to get on to second through sixth grade. This is the elementary slash middle school part of school life. This part is less to be more inclined towards being adept to being in school and learning how to advance and grow within school. Meaning that this is where the academics start taking a bigger portion of your school life now, rather than actually getting up in the morning and going and making arts and crafts. No, this is where the whole A's and B's and the honor roll and all that stuff comes out, because you have to learn, like, they try to teach us very early, and that's just really just wow. Second to the third or fourth grade, they probably won't take it as serious, but they will mention it a few times. And then fifth through the sixth grade, that's when it starts getting really serious, because they're going to start throwing all these grades and tests and all that stuff, and it may seem a bit like daunting, because after all this time you're just going to talk about going to school and just doing stuff. The school life just changes aspects completely. So for the most part, for myself, I didn't really have as many issues that I used to have through second through sixth grade, except there would be a few times where my subjects would really catch up to me, like math, specifically math. The other subjects I wouldn't exactly have a hard time on, but math is like my kryptonite. It is like, I don't like math. Brandon, if you're watching this, babe, I love you, but I really don't like math. It's my least favorite subject out of all of them, right next to science. But then again, there are some sciences I actually do like psychology, social science, and even some parts of biology, evolution, stuff like that. That's interesting. But the math parts, no, not at all. So now moving on to 7th and 8th grade, which is a little tiny portion. You're probably wondering, why would I pick on like little 2 grades? That's because this is like more of the junior high section. You see, for me, because I live in El Paso, right now I currently live in Horizon City, we have a school that was recently built around a few years ago when I was starting 7th grade, called Ricardo Estrada. And in that school, they would have 7th and 8th graders. It used to be specifically just 8th graders. Now, I don't know how the hierarchy is, because supposedly they were going to have freshmen there too. But for the most part, for me, that I went, it was 7th and 8th grade. And this is the junior high section. This is where the whole social, it becomes as important, but the grades also become important. So this is like a really high, kind of almost time point, because there are those social people who really want to get their name out and everything, become most likely to succeed or whatever, and grades kind of become subpar because they feel that just because they went through second to sixth grade, it's not going to be as hard, when in a way it kind of is, but it just becomes highly slanted. For me, 7th and 8th grade Carl Strata, those are really good years for me. I started my band there. I started band class. Sorry, it sounded like I said I started a band. What? I did band class there for a while. I did a bunch of things there. I did extracurricular activities. I met some really great friends that I have bonded with over those 2 years. And it was just a really interesting experience because it was just junior high, it was just getting closer and closer to everything. And it's just like amazement, really. So 7th and 8th grade becomes more and more about grades, and then the social stuff comes back up. Then we're getting to that one that everyone knows, so many movies, genres, books, so on, high school. 9th through 12th grade. For those of us who live in different areas, it might be different, but speaking for myself, it's 9th through 12th grade. My transition was actually pretty interesting because at the end, near the middle of my 8th grade year, there was a sponsor that came by who was offering submissions to an early college academy. This was a new one they built in Clarence. It wasn't like the last previous ones before, and they were offering I think it was 108 or so submissions for the second class to ever go to the high school, and I applied and I got in. And from 9th to 12th grade, instead of going to my supposed high school, which was Horizon High, I ended up going to Clinton Early College, and it still is, because I can't say it was because I'm not done with high school yet, but it has been an up and down journey with that. High school is where grades and sociality are finally even. It's all laid out there. I mean, what club you're in, how are your grades, how are your colleges, scholarships, your future, all that stuff comes out, it's just thrown at you, and you have to really be prepared for it. For us, it was a bit more per se because we're in the other college. They throw college every other time. As if high school wasn't bad enough to actually get through, they're all worrying us about scholarships, our college, the future, and have a plan set up, and it is ridiculous how that is. And for us just getting there and going through 9th and 12th grade, it just became interesting. For me, 9th through 11th grade, it was, like I said, a rocky road. I had some really good times, I had some really bad times, really good, bad, and so on and so forth. Right now, it's been a really great time for me and Brianna, likely, because we have found our college, which I'll get to later, where we want to go, what our careers are and everything. We really planned this whole thing out. Starting senior year, I heard a lot how different it is being a senior and all that. And seeing the other classes, like the senior class, the first one, how they operate and everything like that, bit discoordinated because their seniors are older, they're kind of used to everything, so I think it was a joke. I don't know how our class is going to be like because we're the good ones. They want us to be the good senior class. So as we're going there and we're looking at the classes and everything, it's going to be a pretty big thing because this is our last year of high school. Honestly, when I was in 8th grade, I was already thinking about high school, and I thought so many times I was going to fail or be held back or have to move to a different school because I suck so hard. And now here I am, senior year, getting ready to leave. Honestly, this senior year is going to be pretty interesting because half of the time I don't want to be at the high school setting because the other half where I really want to do is go to UTEP because I love the college experience. The college is awesome. It is daunting and it is nerve-wracking sometimes, especially for someone my age. I'm 17 right now. But it's still just something that you can actually go and look at. It's something you can actually do. And that is just something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us have right now, especially if you're from Glen, if you're looking at this Glen. So, it's just interesting for 9th through 12th grade. The seniors who graduate, they probably know what I'm talking about, but it's going to be a whole different experience. So high school, for the most part, where sociality and grades become the most important things. And then there goes to college and beyond. So college is, wow. I never really thought about college. All the other times I thought about how bad high school is going to be. Because it's so crazy. I was looking at my brother's homework when I was in 7th grade and it looked so hard and everything. I thought that would be it. And when I started college, because the way our school worked is that For ninth year, during the summer months, we would go to summer sessions at EPCC. And then sophomore year, we would transition every other day. And then junior year, I would go there for one more year before I had all my credits. So I went to EPCC for 3/4 of all 4 years of my high school, and it was amazing. I had a lot of great times there. I loved learning with the professors. I loved the lectures, all the notes I take. The classes, some of them I didn't like, yeah, but that's just college. You have to take, the essentials. And me and Brandon, we had a bunch of little fun times there, just being at the college, feeling more adults, feeling on our own, for the most part on our own. But it was still a pretty awesome experience to actually go through, for college. And I know that since I'm going to UTEP now, it's going to be a whole different experience. But I just becomes part of it. And, just going to UTEP is going to be a whole different thing. I mean, we have plans to plans and everything. And after UTEP is where the Beyond part comes from. Beyond is basically what your life will come to after you've done your education, after you've gotten your degrees, after you've done everything. Getting a job, settling down, having a wife and kids, the American dream, or pretty much a dream of anybody in the entire world, usually comes down to. Honestly, I feel like I've found that dream. I really want to found into it. Really thinking about everything, me and Brandon's future together, my money, my job, my everything, and just where life's gonna go in general. So for college students and students everywhere, I want to say, hope you enjoyed your summer. For those of you who have gone back, I hope school's going great. For those of us who are going to go back tomorrow, good luck tomorrow. And for those of us who already finished school and are off on our life, well, have a good life. Thank you guys for watching this vlog. See ya.